It's, you said,
The, the way you set that Zoom ablaze yesterday, I was quite sure the authorities was coming to get you. It's so good to see that you out here in the free
yes, I'm
with
free. We
with the
free.
free people.
Yes, we free. We free. Grand
Right.
Rising, everybody.
Being free is good. Just don't be the freeple. Don't be a freeple person. You know. All right. What's up? What's up? What's going on? How are we feeling today? I know today's Monday or whatever we want to call it, but today is a day for what? Let me know in the chat. Today is a day for what? We don't call it any day except for today is a day. It's a good day for a great day. And that's really the vibe we want to have. Shout out to Rudy. What's up, Rudy? Delisha, how you feeling? What's going on, Devin? Moya, Sunshine. Oh, that should have been for Moya. Sunshine. What's up, Jasmine? What's going on? How we feeling? Reggie, what's happening? What's happening? Legacy Builder, always coming in with the good energy. What's up, Monique? Sophia. Hey, I'm gonna get started early today. We don't really want to, make a whole presentation for this week. We just want to really be in a position of helping and assisting you on your journey because you have a lot to get done, especially if you want to acquire a cash flowing month, right? When we talk about making anywhere north of $10,000, this is an opportunity for you to take action now. And every day, every moment, it's all an opportunity. This week, you're going to be doing the Pitch and Perfection Challenge. So please, let's take it up a notch and let's get comfortable with pitching ourselves. And I want to break the ice or warm us up with this idea, right? Selling. What does selling really mean to you? What does selling really mean to you? And remember, this is all about participation, you being the most valuable participant in your life, because if you are, then what happens is you go to that next level. And that's what we're here for, right? If you're going to the next level, drop a 1 in the chat or drop next level in the chat. Because you are the one and not the two, right? So if you believe that you're going to that next level, you have to believe you are the one. Yes, being that you are the one, you may feel odd around your family, but odd is a great thing, right? Being odd is a great thing. Being odd, you stand out. As the one, you're odd, right? Odd, one is an odd number. So I want everyone to focus on just being comfortable being them. But you have to figure out your selling style. Not everybody's style is your style. Not every style is great for you in your tonality, in the way that you articulate in your business, your service. But I want you to pretty much orientate to me what is selling. So can I get 30 seconds on the clock? Jasmine, are you in a position to control the clock today? Or should I be controlling the clock just before we get started? And today is going to be a hard stop on the 30, y'all. So I know I'll be giving y'all extra chances, but today you got to be a hard stop on the 30. We have to practice, so during the Pitch and Perfection Challenge, what's going to happen is you're going to have a 30-second pitch, 15-second pitch, and even down to a 7-second pitch. And you can do it. At first, it might seem daunting. It might seem like it's not, accurate, but you can do it and you will do it 100%, especially if you want to make money or collect cash flow. All right. So let's get this thing going. Jasmine, did I get the approval for the time clock from you or did I miss it? All right. Let me pull it up. All right. So let's raise your virtual hand. Just tell me what is selling, and just be comfortable to you. What is selling, right? I think that's probably be an easier question. There's no right or wrong answer, but it's just talk about to you and what it means to you. But what is selling to you? And honestly, once again, everyone's hand should be up because you are selling products, you're selling service, you're selling opportunity, you're selling something, a solution to someone. So everybody's hand should be up because if you don't feel as comfortable in your sales skill, your hand should definitely be up. If you feel like I'm not a people's person and I don't really like to speak in front of people and I'm a little nervous to make my offer, yeah, you should be the first one with your hands up. So who can help me navigate this? Jasmine. Okay, Sunshine, you got it?
Gotcha.
Maybe y'all just alternate. Can y'all alternate, Jasmine, Sunshine? But once again, I see 2 hands up. I should see everybody's hands up, especially if you haven't made $10,000 in your business already. Like, on the low end. That's the low end. 10,000. All right. So who do we have coming up first?
King Reginald, what's going on, King?
Good morning. Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
King. 30 seconds or less. What is selling?
Selling is adding value to people. Sometimes we think selling is a bad thing, but selling is adding value to people, and we should continue to add value to people. When we add value to people, we're making them better. Sometimes people don't know what they want, so if we show them what they want, we are selling to them. So I say that's selling.
Okay, great stuff. Great stuff. Everybody put some love in the chat. Thank you, King. We appreciate you. Who's up next? What is selling?
King Rudy, come talk to us, King.
Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Yeah, awesome.
All right. So, selling to me means being able to have somebody buy something in need. So, rather than a want, so you can be able to sell the idea to them so that they need this and they also do need it. Then that's what I would say selling would be. Being able to answer their questions and make them feel confident in the decision for them buying from you.
Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody send some love in the chat. Thank you, King. We appreciate you. Next person. Who do we have coming up next?
Let's get it. Thank you, King Rudy. Queen Tracy.
Hey, good morning.
What's going on, Trace?
Hey, selling to me is, having a solution, providing a solution for a problem and giving that to a person and receiving either payment or something in return.
Okay. All right. So great stuff. Great stuff. Everybody send some love in the chat. Who do we have up next? Is that it, or do we have more hands?
No, we got more. King Devin, let's go. King, come talk to us.
Well, good morning, Mr. Two Comma Crew.
Mhm.
Selling to me is pretty much the same exact thing as what Reginald said, adding value to somebody's life. But I think the most important thing is figuring out who your audience is, right? Finding out what their pain point is, and then guiding them to make a decision to add value to their life.
Okay, love it. Absolutely love it. Great stuff. Dev, let's go to the next person. Do we have more people? I can't really see when I'm controlling the time on this device.
Yes.
We got two more. So we got King Fredgy. I'm through King Fredgy.
Thank you, Queens. Appreciate it.
Good morning. Good morning.
What's going on?
All right. Selling to me is convincing someone to feel comfortable and trust and believe in what you're promoting, because it's one thing to see, but if you break it down to them and put it in their mind to trust and believe, I feel like you got to sell, and that's what selling to me is.
Okay. All right. I like that. Real quick, I got 10 seconds. Do you like to be convinced?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You gotta
Great
make
stuff. All right. Good stuff. Put some love in the chat. Thank you, King. We appreciate you.
Talk to us, love.
Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So selling to me is basically persuading someone to buy a product, concentrating on their pain points. So basically what everybody else has been saying. So yeah.
Okay. Do you like persuasion? You like to persuade people?
I actually do.
Do you like being persuaded?
I do.
Okay. Love
Yep.
it. Absolutely love it. Everybody
Yep.
put some love in the chat. Thank you, Queen.
Thank you.
All right. So let's jump in and give some feedback. And remember, Jasmine, Sunshine, y'all can raise your hand too. I know Sunshine, shout out to you because you've been doing it over the last week. But I haven't seen Jasmine. Jasmine, you should be raising your hand and participating. You should be doing it. All right. Okay.
I raise my hand, so I don't mind.
Okay. So the thing about this, y'all, everybody, y'all said key things, right? Which is dope and it's amazing. I want you to think about it in a simplistic way. Selling is listening for what someone else wants. Let me know if that sounds easier than what you said. Just let me know if that sounds easier. Which one sounds more doable? Which one sounds more doable? And I want us to be in this position of power. Remember, everything is about position of power. So last night I was in New Jersey on a rooftop, and this is all about Virgos, right? They were celebrating Virgo season. Look, I'm not a Virgo. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But I was there supporting, all right? And we were playing this game, Jenga. And while everyone's playing, it was my turn. When it was my turn, I had the hardest one. I came in there all at the last minute. They're like, yo, bro, it's your turn. My turn. I never commit to this. What's going on here? Yeah, bro, you got to do it. So they're like, you out of all people should know how to do this. I said, it's not that I don't know how to do this. I said, I don't want to be the one that drops the blocks, right? And that's all of us, right? None of us want to be the one that drops the block. And the block may be the opportunity. You don't want to drop that opportunity. See, the block may be a chance to create greatness. You don't want to fumble on that chance to create greatness. So in those moments, what do y'all think happened when I was saying, I don't want to be the one to drop the blocks? I told you I had the longest turn up there. And this was like one of the toughest ones. I had the longest turn. Tell me what y'all thought happened up there. Like, let me know. While I'm up there, and it's literally, no matter which one I'm choosing, the whole entire blocks are shifting. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? When you get down to so many moves that, when you start poking, the whole thing starts to shift and tilt. So during this time, it took at least 10 minutes. And somebody's like, yo, bro, you still on here? And I was like, damn, I'm a mindset mogul. I should not be on here still. And the only reason why I was still on there is because I was playing by somebody else's rules. Somebody said, let's not go. So, when you first put the blocks back on, right? And they said you have to start 5 below. So you can't start anywhere from 5 and up. You have to go under those blocks, right? And the person said, well, it's technically 3. But in my mind, I'm like, damn, I'm not saying mogul. I can get it on 5. I can get the hardest level. And I'm tapping around and I'm like, yo, to be honest, bro, like if I tap another one of these things, it's about to drop. How many of you feel like if you just make one more mistake, it's going to be over for you? Put a 1 in the chat, put a 0 in the chat, just put some numbers in there like it's the matrix, because I want to break us out of this matrix, right? So I want us to realize I've had a breakthrough just playing Jenga, right? Can somebody think what would be the breakthrough? What would be the object of this whole Jenga? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me? I'll give y'all a moment to write into chat, just because I know you probably write a sentence in it. But Kiana, when you said it's just like Uno, what exactly are you referring to? Reginald, when you said anything you put your mind to, what exactly are you referring to? Right? I really want us to think in a simplistic way. Remember, like a lot of y'all came up and you said sales is this and that, which is all great, but that's why I asked you, what if you thought about sales as just being listening to what someone else wants? Is that easier? Is that simplistic? And I realized the game of Jenga was teaching us all a lesson. See, when I was focusing on what somebody else wanted, I wasn't playing the game to my true essence. Hold on, can I take us to the church for entrepreneurs? I know it sometimes it'd be early and I'll be feeling ashamed, like I don't want to wake these people up, but you should be up. You should be up already. Get into your life, because guess what? Time is passing you by. And if you feel like you do not have enough time, you have to get up earlier. I don't care what time you went to bed yesterday, what time you went to bed last night. You still got to be on time for what you said and what you set out for. Can I take us to the church for entrepreneurs? Can I take us to the mosque for the moguls? Can I take us to the temple for the triumphant? Can I take us to the kings and queens of the Kingdom Hall? Can I do it? Because I want us to realize something. How many years have you been playing by somebody else's rules? How many years have you been scared to knock over the blocks? How many years, how many days, how many opportunities have you passed over because of your own fear that was an illusion inside of your mind? Can I get a mindset in the chat? Can I get a mindset? I really want us to understand. Your life is your life. God put you here as a creator, not just a creature. Sometimes we're living just like creatures. Like what? Like animals. How many of y'all say that? We're just animals. Wait a minute. Oh, he about to get deep on us. How many of you say that? Oh, we're just like animals. It's my animal nature. See, I want you to understand something. You are all powerful. You are all being. See, but the issue is, think about it this way. If I never could see myself, and I struggle with wondering because I'm judging everything on the outside, like, am I beautiful? I don't know, because I never seen myself. And if I never see myself, and I'm just judging based upon people's reactions, the way they look at me or the facial expressions, then I'm not sure. I'm questioning inside. How many of you are questioning who you are? Because you haven't seen yourself. You haven't actually seen who you are. Wait a minute. Hold up. I know we're not getting deep now, because when we talk about ourselves, when we talk about being a person that can see ourselves, we don't want to do it, right? I talk to Sunshine, I talk to the team, and we speak, and we say, this is the hardest work. Working on yourself is the hardest thing. I remember one time Kiana came up and she had a presentation. She was talking about one of my virtual mentors, virtual coaches, was probably some of you all, Jim Rohn, right? And Jim Rohn said, work harder on yourself than you do at your job. See, because you working at your job can give you what? It can give you some wages, but you working on yourself can give you what? A fortune. So which side do you want? You want to be fortunate? Right? Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the prettiest of them all? This is not some fluff. This is a real thing, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder, because you behold the power. Somebody put in the chat, I'm beholding the power. See, you got the power to change your life, but you also have the power to do something so simple that we never seen before, and that's seeing yourself for who you truly are. So while I'm playing this Jenga game, right, I have to understand, wait a minute, the lesson that it taught me is this: amongst the complexity of everything that's going on around you, choose the simple. Choose the simple. Choose to make it simple. How many of us are overcomplicating things, and then when we finally do something, it's like, damn, I didn't even think it was going to be this hard. I mean, this easy. I feel like you can do another one of these, right? But before it gets better, it has to get worse. See, some of us are getting upset at the thought of being inside of what we asked for. So we pray to God, we ask for God, please take us out of our situation. God put us in another situation. Soon as we get another situation, we're complaining about the situation, not realizing the situation was meant to change your life. Whatever you're going through, you will be growing through. But you have to see yourself getting through what you're going through right now, because on the other side of what you want is what you need. So what I was doing during this game, I'm testing, I'm like tapping, and I'm saying, all right, I'm done playing by the other rules, because technically I should just get this piece out of this little place that it's in. So I got the piece out, and I put the other piece on the top, and I said, damn, only if we thought like this, only if we thought amongst all the chaos, let's just choose the simple route. See, when your significant other, somebody drop relationship in the chat, because I know you all want love. See, we forget these things though. Somebody said no tapping, now we tapping. So you forget that we want to be loved, appreciated, heard, felt, and seen. And the thing is, amongst the chaos inside of your relationship, your significant other might be voicing their opinion, but they haven't done the work to come to you in a way that you would most likely appreciate the approach. But in their minds, they're just saying something. In their minds, they're expressing themselves. In their minds, they're telling you, right? Think about this. Have you ever been on the other end when your significant other, your partner, or somebody in your relationship, doesn't matter, family, friends, platonic, romantic, they came to you and they said to you, hey, when you do X, Y, Z, it makes me feel some type of way. And then immediately your rebuttal was, but when you do X, Y, and Z, this makes me feel some type of way. Drop a 1 in the chat if that's you. Drop a 1 in the chat if you experienced that. Drop a 1 in the chat if you've done that. Now, let me put you on game now. Was that the simplest way amongst the chaos? Amongst the complexity? Was that simplistic? Or was it compounding the interest? I think it was compounding, right? So what if we would have just taken the understanding and understood on the ability that a person is looking to be vulnerable, but they might be afraid, just like how you are when it comes to selling your product, right? Or your service. It may be when we look at that relationship, we can just listen to what the person wants. Think about what I just said. Instead of telling the person what we thought, hey, yo, but every time you don't wash the dishes, I get upset. Every time you leave the microwave on and it's beeping, I don't want to hear that. Like, instead, let's just articulate it in a way that we're selling them on what we want. The way to get a person to buy into what you want is to have them sell who? So let's show it again. Let's show it. Let's show it in real time. You might say, oh, after your significant other says to you, oh, you make me feel some type of way when you do X, Y, and Z. And then you rebuttal, well, when you do X, Y, and Z, I feel some type of way. That's not really active listening or emotional intelligence. We want to have active listening and emotional intelligence in this situation. We just want to listen. And guess what? If we do listen and we say, you know what? I apologize. This is where the leadership is standing into the cells, right? So the person who is telling you about what's going on is telling you on this idea that you made them feel some type of way. You, as the leader playing the other role, you have to now lead the cell. So the person brought you to the cell and saying, hey, look, the way that you do X, Y, and Z is making me feel this way. Your job now is to lead the cell. So when you're leading the cell, you're instead of just talking and telling them what you want, you're listening for what they want. And then when you hear it, you confirm it. How many of y'all like affirmation? How many of you like for your partner to validate what you say? How many of you like to acknowledge or to be acknowledged by your partner? If I'm going too far and it doesn't make sense to you, just let me know, because I'll just stop. Like, just let me know. What I'm saying to you is that sales and leadership is the two most important skills, but this is why it's showing you in your relationships how you could have an opportunity to make it simple, but we choose to not do so. So inside that moment where we're arguing over, they're coming to us with the complaint, we should listen to what they're saying and then acknowledge it and say, you know what? That's absolutely right. And if I did make you feel like that, I wanted to apologize to you. And I thank you for holding a space with me and to share that. And I love that you shared that. So I'm going to work on that. Chances are, let me just ask y'all a question, trivia question. Choice A, do they rebuttal with, oh man, you just saying stuff, you blah, blah, blah. Do they rebuttal with something mean? Or choice B, do they rebuttal with, wow, thank you, I appreciate that. And also, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z because, which choice are they most likely going to choose? And some of y'all do have the people that have the A, no matter what you say. They just gonna go off on you regardless. I know some of y'all got those people who will go off regardless. I know. But that's also because you trained them to be that way. But maybe you didn't. Maybe that's just them. Because I know I got family members too. And I know at some point in time that used to be me, where no matter what you say, I'm still going on. Okay. but guess what? Even after they go off, don't they kind of like think about it later on and then come back to it? They might not do it right now, but even if you were the one that went off, you probably think about it later, right? And then like, all right, you come over to your senses. But what I'm expressing to you is leadership in this moment, selling in this moment. You need to sell more in your relationship. Sometimes you're a bad salesman, saleswoman. Think about it. You mean to tell me? She said you give warnings. No, warnings can come off as condescending. Warnings could come off negative, because it's saying to them that they're the problem and you didn't have anything to do with it. That's what it's signaling, and that's not what we want to signal. We leaders, we want to take the blame. Give me the blame. Because if I can get the blame, I can also get the fame. You understand? So let me get both. Let me have both of them. Because if you want to just be the one that point the blame, guess what? You're never going to get the fame. So when you want the recognition, you want the acknowledgement, you're not going to get it. Because you're always pointing the finger. And every time you point one finger, you always got three pointing back at you. So let's look at what you do. Okay? So back to the selling point. So as I mentioned, the idea of this whole Jenga game taught me a valuable lesson. Be simplistic amongst the chaos, amongst the complex. So was that helpful for anybody? The way that we tied in sales in leadership, and that was just a nugget, did that help you out in any way? And if it hasn't, I want you to raise your virtual hand really fast. And I would love for you to express what you got from out of that. And then from there will be breakthroughs that will happen for you. So let's raise the virtual hand again. Once again, if you raised your hand before, raise it again. This is not about how many times you raise your hand. This is about how much value can you put into your life. So we all measure, right, our lives in different ways, and different things are success to us and some things are not. But life is not just about the number of years you experience. It's about the number of experiences you put into your years. So how can you put more experiences into your years? By being the most valuable participant, taking action, raising your hand, being in your life. Like the same thing with your children, right? And maybe you're a single mom. How would the father of your children be the MVP if he was active in the child's life? If you're a single dad, how could you be the MVP if you're active in the child's life, right? So you have to be active in your life in order to get the results you truly want. That's why we encourage you to raise your hand. So, all right, Jasmine and Sunshine, can y'all please alternate? Since Sunshine has a hand up, let Sunshine go first and bring up the first person. I'll put 30 seconds on the clock.
King Reginald, come talk to us, King. It's so good to have you back in the room. Is he there, y'all? He was there.
Yeah, I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I had to move around, had a little noise in my house. But yeah, man, this is just some powerful stuff that's been going on. What the first thing I want to say is I was feeling like I didn't have enough time in the day. But what you said is we need to start getting up on time. We got to have enough discipline to get up on time and get stuff together. So that was my first point, that I need to get up on time. If I say I'm gonna do something, get up on time and do it. The next thing is we got to be more powerful with our relationships. You brought a very key point about we gotta with our relationships, we gotta listen to what they're saying. And also when selling, we gotta start listening to people. If we listen to them, they'll give us our answers. So that's what I got.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Great way to stop in 30 seconds. You gave us so much value. I really want everyone to focus on what he said, a key point, just listening. You need to listen more. Everybody drop listen more in the chat. If you're listening more, what happens is you get a better understanding of where somebody is coming from. But guess what? Most people aren't even talking to be talking to. They're talking to be heard by who? By you, but also by themselves. Right? How many of us relate to that? Where you, and also this is a healthy practice too. You have a relationship and you know your significant other is going to give you some rebuttalness that you just don't want, and you tell them straight ahead, hey babe, this conversation I want to have with you, I just want you to listen to me. Just want you to hear me out. This is not to get any advice. I just want an ear. I just want to talk to you. And that would do a lot of greatness. All right. So great job. Everybody send some love to Reg in the chat. Who do we have up now? Oh, Sunshine. Maybe you got Sunshine. Come on, Sunshine.
What's going on, King? So this relationship thing, yeah, we could talk about this all day, but every time you bring it up, it takes me back to, my relationships currently, past tense and everything. And I put it in the chat. Like a lot of us don't listen, like we listen to respond. We don't really listen to understand. And there's that sense of defensiveness. We're constantly on the defense. And so there's that expectancy in having that conversation for the rebuttal. And we have to move past that because we can learn to be the solution or what needs to be resolved. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great job on that, Sunshine. I really want to get people present to something, right? Be present to how you will respond in these situations. So raise your virtual hands again. And Sunshine, since I have you up with your hand up right now, and I would love for you to share in this, which areas could you make a little bit more simple that you've probably made complex? Could be within your platonic or romantic relationship. It could be just a personal thing. It can be business. But you can let us know which area have you made complex that you can actually simplify.
it brings me right to a particular situation with my ex yesterday, where there was a conversation that we had, and I probably complicated it as far as what they were saying. I could have just said, I understand. And that's it. Like, not be looking to show or prove my point or look to be understood. If I'm looking to be understood, then I have to take the time out to understand other people as well.
That's a key point. And we want you to do it for real. Like, this is not a hack. This is like a principle, right? If we listen to people, we're listening for what they want, we can provide it. But also, you do not need to prove a point.
Absolutely.
There's success in silence. How many of you feel like when you are in a relationship or on a date and you got this silence, but it's awkward? You should never feel awkward when there's silence. That's the moment to breathe. That's the moment to get downloads. But if you feel awkward, what does that mean about you? That means that you're forcing something. You are pushing something to be in existence that is not there, which if you do one thing, you most likely do that in another way, right? So the way you do one thing is most likely how you do everything. So think about that principle. If you feel like you can't be silent enough to listen, well, damn, you're going to have to start listening, because if you don't, then you're going to have more of what you don't want because it's too much noise. So for example, I don't know. I know Sunshine. I can always refer to Sunshine. Sunshine, hopefully I'm not aging you when I do these things. I'm just thinking that you could be the best one to help me, right? I think you know about the times where you had to turn the TV with the knob and it had static, right? Like, and it had what we call white noise, right? Yeah. I mean, this ain't a shot to you because I know that. I remember in my kitchen, my grandfather, he's always cooking. He always had the little TV. And it was dope because he had a TV in the kitchen, but it was black and white and you had to turn it on. I was like, wow. You know, he told me before, back in my day, you had to get up and you had 3 channels. You could, it wasn't even nothing you could turn. It was it was just a button.
2, 7, and 11.
It's a dial.
Did you have to for the antenna?
Right. He said he had the antenna. I remember antennas too. When I was really young, you had to move the antenna to get a signal. I remember that, but that was shortly lived. I don't know nothing else about that after a while, but so, you know, he's moving, he got the TV and everything. And it just made me realize that we need to be updating our technology, right? So the technology that we should be updating are the natural skills that have been bestowed upon us by just nature. Like, with nature, you have what we call senses, right? 6 senses. And some of us only use 5 senses. Can somebody tell me what that 6th sense is? Let me know. But these senses are our technology. Before we had phone notifications, you had sensory notifications, and you still have them, right? When you get ready to speak and you raise your hand, you're like, damn, and they call on you, you get those sensory notifications. You might feel nervous, you might feel apprehensive, but everything that you see in the world was created after the human, right? The technology that a human possesses is all knowing. The technology that a human possesses is all powerful. Now, it may not be Almighty God powerful, but if you came from God, if you're a child of God, then you must be a god or goddess, however you like to look at it. A cow is not going to have a baby dog. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, you know, baby's going to come out. No, a cow is going to have a calf, and that's it. So God is going to create humans, and humans, your ability to create is paramount. You are meant here to create. So during these times, we're creating all these other things like technology. We need to be creating ourselves in another way. We need to be creating ourselves at the next level. So let's not be afraid of pitching who we are, because selling is something you do for somebody. It's not something you do to someone, something you do for someone. And the best way of selling is putting somebody in an environment to sell. Wait a minute. What did he say? So I gave y'all the example before. It's a simple example. Some of y'all might be from New York City. Some of y'all might not be. But in New York City, they sell anything everywhere. Anything everywhere. You could be on the street, some food. How you cooking in a truck? Like, you anywhere. Somebody walking across the street, you stop at the highway, there's people walking across the street with fruit. How? What'd you do? Like, Look, all I'm saying is that there's a way it will get done. But in reality of this whole thing is you have to be that person too. You have to be that person that creates no matter what. What are you creating in the environment, right? So with the example of Starbucks, if somebody was on a corner selling you Starbucks, they set up the nice little table, they got a Starbucks cups, and they selling you Starbucks, or just at the corner, just at the next corner, there's actually Starbucks. Who would you rather choose? Would you rather choose the person that's on the corner selling the Starbucks? Or would you choose the person that's inside of the Starbucks building? It's whatever you're gonna choose, because there's people that purchase things from the streets anyway, right? From the corner anyway. I know I have. They used to always get us with the little paintings and the little drawings. But anyway, that's another thing. They draw you, but you don't look like the drawing. It'd be crazy. That's like wow, that's a wild hustle. They be like, sit down, let me draw your picture. I don't know if y'all been to Times Square, but sit down, let me draw your picture. And when you get the picture back, it'd be some cartoon looking thing, it'd be looking weird. I'll be like, nah, bro, y'all play games. All right, y'all gotta hustle. Y'all just hustle me out of $20. All right, I could have drew this myself. All you did was like make some stick figures with some lips. Like, come on, man. I look better than this stick figure. Anyway, so for you, it's about the environment, right? Yo, yeah, bottom CDs for $5. It used to be buy my mixtape. Everybody on the corner had mixtapes. I used to have to put headphones in. I'm listening to one right now, y'all. I can't buy another one. I'm listening to one right now. I gotta wait till I finish this one. So your job is to put a person in an environment to sell. So back to the relationship. If you want a happy, healthy relationship and your significant other is coming to you, or if you just want peace and you tired of somebody nagging, you have to put them in, you have to put them in an environment, right? So when you're listening to what they have to say, that's you creating what they call a safe space. A space is what? An environment. So you're creating in an environment that allows a person to make a decision, right? So inside that environment, you have to help them make a decision. So when you're selling, right, utilize the environment. Let's not be the person that is going into the post office and we're selling something that has nothing to do with postal services, right? Like, let's be the person that is creating new envelopes, new stamps that people who inside the postal office, because that's the intention that they're going for, they can purchase those particular things, right? There's people who actually get paid to make envelopes. There's people that get paid to make stamps. Like, I know these things sound weird, but there's people that get paid to do these simple things. So we don't want to fool ourselves. We just want to pull ourselves into a place that has the people that already want what we have. There's somebody that already wants what you have. You have to create the environment to want them to make a decision. So when you walk in as a customer, you're not on the sell side. You're not the one leading the person to the sell. The brick and mortar, the signs, they have all done that for you. When you walk in and you see the menu is selling you too, because it's inside of that environment. And then guess what? You lead the sell and you go, okay, I want a number 5. And you tell them what you want. And you made a decision. Inside of your relationship, you need to do the same. Set up the space, set up the environment for your significant other to come in, to share their thoughts and where they're at. And then inside of that environment, you make a decision. The decision is to listen and give them what they want. And by you giving them what they want, who do you give what they want? Oh, that's backwards. If you give them what they want, what do you get out of it? Is a better question. Who said record their behavior? Look, take it easy, all right? Like, don't be recording people. I remember I did that. That's toxic. I used to record. Yeah, see what you did? Like, damn, come on, man. Don't be doing that. Now, that's crazy now. Yeah, I was a little wild. I had to learn my lessons. So, all right, cool. You got to keep them in an environment, because when you sell them and give them what they want, they're going to give you what you want. This is why when you're on those first dates, it feels magical, right? On those first dates, it feels magical. When you first, and maybe not the first date, but when you first get together with people, right? And you start having that relationship, it feels great. And it never, ever feels like it could ever surpass that beginning part, right? It always feels like the beginning is the best and the end is the worst. And I think that's just naturally how it is. When you're born, that's your best day. When you die, that was your worst day. Now, in between, you might have some ups and downs. You may think that these days are the worst day, best day, whatever the case you may feel. But what's worse than dying? What's better than being born? Like all of y'all, well, not all of y'all, most of y'all wish y'all could go back 10 years, right? And if you had the same information that you had 10 years ago, oh, you could be somebody that you could be a force to be reckoned with, right? So, and maybe not all of you, but that's why we said something. So one of the things I want to say before I turn it back over to you all and then get ready to close up is just seeing yourself as a creator, seeing yourself as the best version, seeing yourself as someone who can help someone else, because that's what you're meant to be on this earth for, is to create. The reason why you create is to do what? To create for others. You are others too, like you're part of others. So you are included in your creation, but that is your reasoning of being on this earth, is to create. To create what? Beautiful experiences. So we just want to simplify everything. So if you're having a situation with your significant other and it's a conversation, how could you turn this into a beautiful experience? Like what Sunshine said, she could have just said, yes, I understand, and I'm here for you. Instead, she wanted to prove a point. Yeah, but you said so-and-so, now I'm gonna say this, and then now what happens? From there, whole blow up. And now you're sitting on the couch, parts away, and you're thinking, damn, I should never said that. Or damn, I should have said this. You know what? Next time we get into this argument, I'm gonna say this because you know, and it's not necessary, y'all. Just let it go. All right? Let it go. Sell yourself on knowing that it's okay to be mentally wealthy. Right? We talk about mental health, but do we talk about mental wealth? You have to be mentally wealthy. Part of that mental wealth is understanding that you have the ability to create the most beautiful experience just by choosing the most simplistic way amongst the complexity of it all. And if you just practice that more often, things come to you in abundant ways that feels easy and effortless because you are the one that's in control. When you are programming the TV and you press a button, it's easy and effortless unless you made it difficult. And you're probably one of those people that's banging a remote as if it's gonna change anything about how it's gonna change, but you're actually breaking the remote. And the most simplest thing you could have done is just change the batteries. Hey, hold on, maybe that went over your head. Has anybody ever done that? Looking to change the TV, oh, this ain't working. You start smacking the TV up the side of the head like the TV did something to you. Like you smacking the TV up, work. And what's the simplistic way? What's the simplistic way? Make it simple. So I want to know from everybody, this is before we close, how can you make your life simple? Which areas have you made it complicated that you can now make simple, simplistic? Everybody should be raising their virtual hand. Nobody should be left on this. Because if not, then you just wasted your time, right? Because now it went through one ear, went out the other, versus you actually seeing what you're going to apply it to and executing on that. Did we have a question in the chat? Was there a question or something in the chat? I couldn't see that, but it went by so fast. Sunshine, you want to help me out? I don't know if there was a question. Oh, maybe that was sent to me directly. Hold on, let me see.
I'm looking. I don't see one right now.
Yeah, I guess because it's over the days, over the weeks, it's been so much stuff like pouring over women. So I just feel like the simplest way is like Sunshine was saying, aim for the prior goal and just break it down in sections and just write it down. I feel like that's more easier. That's why I got a board. So, because it'd be so much to do and so much you want to do, but if you just write it down and just break it down into sections, just attack it like that, I think is like you said, the simplest way. I think is easier.
Yeah. So there's a thing called segment intention, right? So each segment you're intending for a result. So let's say when you're driving to work, what's your segment intending of driving to work? To get there safely, to get there on time, to get there without any trouble, right? That's one section. Now, what's the next one? When you walk through the door, do you got a badge? Do you have the key card or whatever it is? Like, are you going to get in there smoothly? Are you going to get stopped by someone, or would you leave something in the car and then have to run back to the car and just that little 2 minutes that made you late? Like, these are all things you want to segment intend. So you want to say, okay, from the car, I'm going from the parking lot into the office, it's going to be a smooth transition. It's going to be something smooth. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. And what happens is you start to set your life up where each segment of your life you can control like this because you done thought about it. You done created it in your mind already. And that is how you're going to gain that power. So for you, Reg, give me something specific. What exactly would you change or alter to make it simplistic?
That was a deep. One more time.
The question?
Yeah, the question.
So what specifically, what would you do? What would you change to make it more simplistic?
What would I change? Like,
Yeah.
if I just attack what I need to do immediately instead of like just procrastinating and waiting.
Okay.
I kind of let it like pile up, wait, and then try to attack instead of just acting quick. For me.
Let's just watch this. How many people relate to that? Put y'all in the chat. And the truth of the matter is, almost everybody's gonna relate to it. Why? Because we all do it. And the reason why we do it is because we like to have the least resistance. We want the least things to do. We want to just be comfortable, sit back. That's why most people's dream is just want to sit on the beach. But trust me, I've been traveling for 30 months out of these 37. So I already know that it ain't just about being on the beach and getting them sunburns. It ain't just about that. I'm telling you right now, it's more than just that. Okay, but people say that because they've been overworked and underpaid, so they want to feel some relief of just relaxation. But the way to truly relax is to take care of your priorities. The way to truly become free is to lock yourself down in structure. So everything that we're chasing is actually an illusion, because what's happening is what we're tuned into, we turned into, and we're trained to be against what's for us and for what's against us. See, if we put the work in, we can have the time to chill and relax. But we want to be trained for the relaxation first to prepare for the work. Wait a minute. What did I say? How many of us like to relax to prepare for the work? That's backwards. Because even while you're relaxing, what are you doing? You're just thinking about what to do next. So you don't even really get a chance to relax. This is why you keep chasing the illusion of relaxing, taking breaks. But if you did it the other way around, you get rewarded with the break. It's two different ways. See, when you take care of your priorities right away, what happens? You got nothing else left to do. So you only could just think about peace. But when you are looking to go rest first, the only thing you couldn't think about is stress. That's why people are stressed. Hopefully that was a ball for y'all. Like, hopefully that was something y'all picked up, because that is the biggest thing that's going to move your life into another level, is you learning to be a person that can have discipline and consistency, to take priority over what's actionable right now, to give you that sense of peace and relief. Great job, King, for bringing that up.
Made plenty of sense. All right, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
There is a question in the chat, King.
Hold on real quick. Read the question, but also Keon. Is it from Keon?
Yes.
All right, so read it real quick. I'm just gonna run over here real fast. Go ahead, Queen.
Okay, so the question is, oh wait, it's moving. Hold on. Let me go back. Where'd it go? Okay. So the question is, you said Sunshine could have said she understands. What's an alternative to saying you understand when you truly don't understand or agree? My go-to is, we'll just have to agree to disagree. Is that a healthy response?
Hold on. It sounds good to you, agree, disagree, and we say that, right? But watch this right now. Watch how in real time we show you it's not. Everybody put in the chat, how does that sound? But how many of us used it already, though? We all used it. But how does it really sound hearing it from somebody else? I guess we just have to agree to disagree. Is that healthy? Is that a healthy way to have a conversation? Let me know. Put it in the chat. So the answer to that, and this is a great question, by the way. So the answer to that is, you have to get clarity. Remember, We said you have to listen. So when you're not sure about what someone is saying, ask for the clarity. So one way you can use a statement could be, wait, I like what you're saying right there, but I want to know more. Can you elaborate on that? Would you mind exploring that a little bit deeper? Pause, but you get the point, right? So I'm just saying you have to actually accentuate yourself in the language to give, to have the person give a true response. But the thing that I want you to remember the most, you're not looking to agree with people. How can you truly agree with somebody else's vision? In fact, put it this way, how could you truly disagree with somebody else's vision? It's their vision. So when you're arguing with someone, this is how foolish it is, right? Think about what we said before this while back. I think Jay-Z said this. Arguing, and it's not just Jay-Z, I think he quoted it from somebody else. But from a distance, when you're arguing with someone, the person that from the distance who's looking on, they can't tell who's right or who's wrong. They can't tell who's the fool, right? And who's not. Because we both look foolish. We both look foolish yelling at each other because in principle, this is what we're yelling at each other for. I'm yelling at you and I don't agree with you because you don't see the way that I see things. I'm yelling at you and I'm disagreeing with you because you don't say what I say. When in fact, you would never see the way that I see it, and you're not me and I'm not you. So I have to just listen to what you are expressing because this is your life and your perception based upon the things that you've gone through, which is why you're unique and special and you're one of one. So in real reality, Kev, what I would be thinking is Keon, right? Is it Keon who asked that?
Yes.
So in reality, I wouldn't be looking to disagree with the person. I would be looking to fully understand and comprehend where they're coming from. Because the thing that it does, it allows me, think about it. If I have what I have because I am who I am, because of the work that I've put in, because of the things that I know, so I'm where I'm at right now in my life because of the things that I know. I'm not where I'm at because of the things that I don't know. And if I don't understand what the person is saying, what would happen if I actually did understand? I would be somewhere else having a better understanding, which means that I could better comprehend with that person. So this is how you can tell where people are at on certain levels. You might break up with a significant other because your growth might be different from theirs. But if you have the awareness to see that, okay, I'm not understanding this, is that their problem or is that you? That's just what I want to leave there for now. We come back to that. Thank you for that question. If there's any more questions, let us know, Sunshine, so we can break those down. But who do we have coming up next?
It's King Reginald. He's showing up.
Awesome. Can y'all hear me?
Absolutely.
So what I got is for me to be able to simplify life, I just gotta listen. I think I do that in my relationships. I don't listen. I listen to offend myself to get my answer through. But if I did that with my relationships, also with my products, sometimes I'm trying to offend what I'm selling. But if I listen to the customer, they're gonna tell me, and I'll be making more money because I'm listening to what they want instead of listening to what I need. Also, for me, it's me being my authentic self. I'm always trying to be somebody else. If I just be myself, I will attract the people that I need to be in my life and stop trying to be like everybody else. So that's my answer.
Sunshine, I gotta let you respond to that. That was well said.
Absolutely was. We spoke about this last night. There's nothing more powerful than genuinely, authentically being you, right? And so you said so much in that. And yes, we do have to sit up here and listen because being like somebody else is already taken, like it's kind of whack, and we're not doing that. And you just being back in this room is absolutely phenomenal. Your presence has been missed. And I love the way that you're showing up. And so if we're selling anything to anybody, it is all about the listening because it's all about the resolve. We're looking to solve whatever their problem is. But if we're not listening to it, then we're just forcing something on somebody that they truly don't need, but attracting your true customer, attracting the people that truly need what you are serving up is phenomenal on every level. And we should all be working on that.
Absolutely. Great stuff. Great point, Reginald. Was that it? Or did you have something else to add to that?
No, that's it.
All right. Excellent. Great job on that. If that was amazing, let us know in the chat because everything that you do matters and your voice matters. And if you come up here and share, you will get a breakthrough. This is how it works. Like you have to share in order to get these breakthroughs. The more breakthroughs you have, the less breakdowns you have. Did y'all hear that? The more breakthroughs, the less breakdowns. How many of us breaking down? Oh, financially, it ain't working. Well, maybe we need to work different. All right. Who do we have coming up next?
Queen Delisha. Come through, Queen Delisha.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I would say I can make things more simplistic by actively listening and not listening to respond. Also by not being so defensive when someone does approach me, by acknowledging what they're saying and trying to implement changes based off of that.
Okay, I love what you're saying. And remember I mentioned to you before, I said, I need to hear more from you.
Yes, I remember that.
Hey, can we have everybody come up for mute, snap it up, clap it up for you? I just want you to feel loved in this moment.
Be Delisha. Yeah, let's go.
All right, Delisha.
Nice girl.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Right. Let's go.
Okay, here from you,
Good
Queen.
job.
Easy. You're beautiful too. Looking good. Glowing.
Good job.
Okay.
Good job.
Glowing.
Work it out.
Let's get it.
So how simple was this for you, like to just say what you said, but also to feel what you just felt now, right? Like just for you coming up, you're just sharing. You're not thinking we're gonna applaud for you just for sharing, but that's how life is. When you show up for you, things show up to you. The things you want show up to you. This is just the principle, because God put it this way. Like it just is what it is. We can't fight that one. So for you, right, when you say listen more, I want everybody to put Yana in the chat. This relates to you. If you feel like you should listen more and stop being so defensive, then put Yana in the chat. Here's why we shouldn't be defensive. What are we defending? So I just want you to think though. So Delisha, what exactly are you defending? Yes.
I guess I'm defending myself, my character. Sometimes I take that as an attack when somebody feel like they might be coming for me. So I have to defend myself and who I am.
So I love it because ain't nobody gonna play with us, right? But what I want to express is, what if you've seen somebody coming for you or someone saying something to you as something that you didn't know you needed to hear?
Sure.
What if it was just not the approach that you wanted to hear, but you control the filter in which you hear it as? And you know this is accurate because you do it with children. Wait a minute, hold on, don't do it to me like this. When children are coming to you and you're speaking, what type of ear do you listen to with children? An open filtered ear where you can hear what they're saying. They may not even know how to speak yet, but you're listening active to get their point. Yeah, you're helping them fill in the blanks. Yeah. But with the other people as an adult, what are you actually doing? You're just giving them blanks. I think it was Martin. Yeah, did Martin or Jamie Foxx? Jamie Foxx used to be the one that put the hand to people's face, right? Like, we don't need to put the hand to people's face. Like, we need to put the arms out so we can hug them and hear them and feel them, because guess what? All of us going through the same stuff, Queen. And none of us really been sat down and taught how to communicate. In fact, the way that we've been taught how to defend ourselves, we don't even realize that we've been taught that from the school system. We don't realize that we've been taught that from the mom because we may be grown up in a single family household, right? We don't understand what's actually playing on our subconscious, but guess what? Something is playing there. And if you don't like the results, you have to change the input, because it's a simple mathematics, right? Everything is mathematics. The reason why somebody's coming to you and expressing to you about their feelings is because of certain input that you had.
Right.
So the only reason why you're getting the output is because of the input, but you keep putting the same input, hoping it's a different output, and then you swapping out the whole player and saying, let me get a new person, and the person better act the way I want them to act, or I'm getting a brand new person. And then guess what? You done went through 4, 5, 6, 20, 1,000 people. And now you realize that I need to do something around here because it ain't working. So the changing the input is what we need to focus on. So great job, Delisha, on standing out. Appreciate you for that. Once again, I'm snapping it up when you're clapping it up.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
So let's go to Sunshine. You had your hand up, and we can get ready to close out, right? I don't even know the time. What time is it?
It is 9:32 right now.
So yeah, last two hands and we're closing up. All right.
Okay, so this actually is a follow-up from King Keon. He's asking, so what's the resolution besides listening and exploring? I've done that before, but it typically doesn't work. People typically want your actions to reflect what you heard from them, even if you don't think they're right or agree.
So this is so profound. Everybody drop story in the chat. This is where sales come in at. I always said this. I said, you are the star of your movie, the star of your story, right? And everybody else is a star of theirs. When we come together, what do? If you're a star, I'm a star. Sunshine, you star, I star. When we come together, we do what?
We co-star together.
So we co-star. And then don't get me wrong, you're going to have a lot of background extras in your movies as well. But right now, we're just focusing on the co-star. So we're talking to Keon about this. In that moment when you're listening, are you being the best co-star? Or are you just coasting and hearing what the other person has to say just so you could do what you wanted to do anyway? So are you actually co-starring? If the person came to you and said, I have a headache, and I have a headache because I've been yelling at you. Oh, you've been yelling at me? Yeah, but what about I've been doing this and doing that? Like is that you being the best co-star? Maybe the best co-star is when you see that person coming to you and saying these things, you actually do the work to get on their page. Because it's not that they're speaking a brand new different language. They're just saying something that you really don't want to hear. Wait a minute, am I being too honest with you? Keon, you don't want to hear it, is the real truth. So being that you don't want to hear it, you don't even want to look for it. You ever ask your child, hey, go in the refrigerator and get X, Y, and Z. And they go into the refrigerator, Mom, I don't see it. Dad, I don't see it. And then what you do, you get up and you go, oh, you move one item out the way and go, it's right here. That's the same thing. Is when that person is talking to you, you don't want to hear it. You think that you want to do it for the moment, but you don't want to hear it in the first place. You don't want to hear it in the first place. But you have to be a better co-star. And you have to listen to what the person is saying to you. Because on the other side of that, there's something that will transform your life. Let me give you a simple idea of it. That one time that you listened to that person that became your best friend, your significant other, your child's father, your child's mother, right? Just think about it. Some of y'all might regret it. Damn, I should never listen to that person that time. I understand. I get it. What I'm saying is, though, you wasn't always thinking like that. It was sweet at one point in time, right? So when they were speaking to you, you allowed yourself to listen. Just like there was probably other guys or other women hitting on you, and I'm good right now, I'm good right now, and you just ignored it. You wasn't listening to it. And the one time you actually listened to it, something came from out of it. Now, what comes from out of it is going to be primarily dependent on how you are listening and you are acting. It's both. That's why I said sales and leadership, guiding and decision making, listening and telling, instructing. They're both one and the same. You cannot have one without the other. Day and night, hot and cold. The only way you understand hot is because you know cold. So the only way you're truly going to understand what that person is listening, what that person is asking for, is if you just be with it and help that person find out whatever it is that they're looking to articulate to you. So for Keon, once again, this goes for everybody. You have to actually want to do it. If you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it. And it's that simple. And just by the question, you just don't really want to do it. I don't really want to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. But if you really wanted, if it was something that you was thinking about, I'm a co-star, I got to figure out this movie plot because guess what? We got to win at the end as superstars or heroes. We got to win at the end. If it was really that serious to you or that intentional, that is where you will find all the answers. So I just wanted to drop that nugget. Last person, Jazz. Well, let's just check Sunshine, check for us, see if Keon got something valuable out of that because it probably, I don't know, it could hit or miss. Jasmine, bring Jasmine up.
Hey, good morning. I was practicing the art of listening this entire time. But I wanted to say that for me, I think what I can make simple is just tracking progress, right? Because when situations happen like this, whether it's with your significant other, your family member, or somebody at work or one of your clients, it's like you could revert back so quick. So I think for me, I have to make simple of tracking my progress. So if something is said, how long does it take me to get over it? How long does it take me to get through it? How long am I going to dwell on it? How am I going to remove myself from the situation? And then knowing when I do certain things and it works like that, now I can do it in a faster or more efficient amount of time and really become the expert in that way. So I feel like that's the one thing that I need to make simple is tracking the progress, because we do a lot of things right, but when we don't track it or we don't notice it or we don't allow ourselves to feel like we did something good, it's like, all right, now you just go back into your daily habits or you go back into the next thing you got to do for the day. But like really pointing out the fact that you're actually growing, like I think that's important, and to track it, to make it right in front of you so you can give yourself the grace and the glory that you need to even do everything else.
Absolutely love it. Everybody, if you Yana with that, put Yana in the chat. As I leave y'all with this, I just want to cap this off because she said something that was so powerful, but it probably went over your head. Just like I mentioned before, without day, there is no night. You have to have both of them. Without life, there is no death. You have to have both of them. If you're going to give yourself grace and reward yourself for measuring your progress, wouldn't that help out in your relationship too? What if we did that? Instead of, because we're so quick to count the points. That's the negative ones. Oh yeah, she did this. Oh yeah, he did that. Oh yeah, that was the third time. Oh, that's the fourth time I'm telling him. Okay, next time I'm gonna blow up on him. But are you calculating? Damn, she did this for me. Damn, he did that for me. You know what? I'm gonna go get them something nice at the end of the week.
Right.
In the beginning of your relationship, you did that, but maybe you weren't calculating the points towards what they've done well that you appreciate it. But that is where we want to get to. We want to get to the place where we realize all of these things are rewards, but for what? For being, right? Not just for doing, for being. So who are you being is what matters to you in your relationship. The way that you're being is the way that your relationship shows up to you. So whether you think it's that person or not, there's something that you're doing that's activating the way that person is feeling. Whether you acknowledge it, whether you're aware of it, it's something that you are participating in. So make sure that you realize that you are the co-star to every person that you're coming in contact with in that moment. So for the rest of this week, you're going to be doing Pitching Perfection Challenge. During this time, I'll give you our cheat code. The way to start to get more business is just asking the right questions. And there's just a couple questions that you want to ask. If you could improve anything in your life, what would it be? How soon would you actually improve on it if you can, or if you could? And what would be the consequence if you didn't? Just hearing those three questions, the answers from those three questions, is just talking to people on a regular, like your family, your friends, anybody on the subway or somebody at your work, anybody at the cooler, does not matter. Your job is to practice active listening and watch how things change for you. Just in your relationship, because all of this is about building powerful relationships through perception. And that's how you get beautiful experiences. Tracy, tell us the question. Second question. So let me paraphrase it. One of the ways to look at it is this, right? When you ask the person, you say, what is it that you want, right? Or what can you improve on? When you ask them that question, they're going to give you an answer. Regardless of their answer, you want to give them something like this. It's just a rebuttal, right? It's just a form of rebuttal. You could say to them, if they say something like, okay, I want to improve my finances, you could ask them something like this. So what's in your way of improving your finances? Is there anything in your way? So all you want to do on the second question is follow up with why they haven't already done it, right? Because we want to know how fast they want to move, right? So you could ask them straight up and just be like, so how fast do you want to accomplish this? Or you can ask them the reverse way and say, what's in the way of you achieving it now, or are you getting to that now? All right, so hopefully that was helpful to you, Tracy. That's it for us. I know we kind of went over time to just explain those last parts, but we're done. Sunshine, if you want to come do a nice recap, you can. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can, and we could close out. But if this was powerful for you, if this helped you out in any way, let us know inside the Telegram. Let us know inside Luhv Plus. Also, when we finish, come up with mute and snap it up and clap it up for yourselves and getting this information. So Sunshine, we're bringing you up to the forefront.
Real quick, as far as King Keon, I don't know if you've seen when he dropped in a chat that he actually agreed with what you said, and also his final thoughts on his takeaway. He stated that if you want to do it, change, then follow through with what their requests are. In order to truly understand them, be the co-star and an active listener.
Perfect. Yep, 100%. Like, if you really want to change, think about it this way. I want peace. Which one's going to give you the best peace of mind? Because your peace, right? That's everything.
Absolutely.
Is it going to be more peaceful for you to be resistant against your partner, or for you just to see what your partner is saying and just do it? You chose that person.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Queen. It's on you.
No, so today was absolutely perfect. Sometimes you don't even realize, when we come into this room, what we really need. And so you are just phenomenal at just dropping the gems that are so profound, and the timing is impeccable. And as far as everybody making sure that we really take serious learning the concept of selling ourselves, but listening is the gem in everything, in every aspect. It's not even just selling. Listening will change your entire life, because it's going to change every single relationship that you have. And so I thank you. And it's just so important that, one of the most profound things that you said today for me that stood out the most, and I hope everybody took the time out to write it down, is that success is silent. Like you can really be quiet and be successful. We don't have to speak. We don't have to be loud. Like, just do the work, y'all. And so, King, I appreciate you on every level. I need everybody to come off mute and clap it up, snap it up, stomp it up, all of that, because today was absolutely powerful, y'all. Let's go. Where y'all at?
Let's go.
Let's
Go.
go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's
Let's
go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Awesome. Morning. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Big work today. Big work
Yes,
today.
good work.
Let's
Good
go.
work,
Let's
team.
get it. Track your
Progress. You're the best of the best, top of the top, cream of the crop. Don't let anybody else tell you different. It's Monday, but today's a good day for a great day. Go out there and be amazing. I'm out of here, y'all. I'm sending y'all a lot of love and energy. We got work to do. See y'all later. Peace.